afternoon. It's Jane Lelean and Sue Boynton here. They're two wise buyers. So I'm Jane. I'm a coach from the Institute of Dental Business. Sue, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, and I'm Sue Boynton. I'm a dentist and I'm an independent dental legal consultant.
Fantastic. So I've got no idea what the date is today. Is it the 21st?
Let's go for 21st of May.
21st of May. A friend of mine called it the 90th of March or something. But anyway, so it has been an incredible week in this week in dentistry, and I think it's going to be a phenomenal week next week. What do you think, Sue?
I think that's absolutely right. We're on day 59 of lockdown. I bet you didn't know that, did you? And so much is changing in the landscape now. And I think for dentists, do you know what? We don't know the start date yet, but we can be getting ready for it. So when we get the date, we can be ready to push the button.
And to me, that fills me with so much excitement. It bristles over that. Well, as we talk about that, I'm reminded of actors and going onto the stage, and that sometimes they don't know when a production is going to open, but yet there's rehearsals. The whole, I don't know what you call a group of actors. Is it a troupe? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever they're called, a group of actors. They get together. They learn their lines. They work out their places in the stage, and they tweak it until it works. And when it is word and position perfect, then they can go live. They don't start and rehearse in front of a live audience. And I think that this is the perfect time, given that we don't know. So how would you like to see practices rehearsing and preparing for that start date, so when it comes, they can just go?
We can be ready to go. I'd love to see people thinking about what they want to do, what they want the practice to look like, and thinking about what the patient journey is likely to look like. And we've got a clean slate here. We've never had that in dentistry. We've always had, oh gosh, I'm booked up 3 months in advance and I haven't quite got time to do this, and somebody else is too busy. All the team can be getting together now, looking at what they want their working day to look like as much as we can. And then who do we need for that? Who do we need in the team? Do we need new roles or slightly different roles in the team to meet the challenges? And then the huge one, planning the patient journey and managing the patient's expectations. I'd like to see a new start on all of that.
And I think this is so exciting. New starts, redesigning the practice. And yes, there are going to be inevitable changes to the roles and duties that people are doing. So there's going to be some of that. It may be the numbers of team members. But actually, although it's going to be really hard and people may be being made redundant, actually, there's never going to be another time when people aren't expecting it. So the team members are expecting that things are going to change. They know that nothing is going to be the same again. So let's make use of this opportunity rather than looking at the doom and gloom, and get everybody on board. Because if we make a member of the team redundant now, it may be 6 months down the line that actually we've grown and it would be great to have them back. But if we do it well and they're engaged in the process, well, how good would that be, that they do come back and they come back joyfully?
I think that's a good point. And I think we're back further than that as well. Until we know exactly how we want the practice to run, what the patient journey is going to be like, we don't know who we're going to need in the team. So I think we've got to have this planning and discussion first. And we may even need to phase the return of team members back to practice.
Absolutely.
We're talking about phased return of patients and dentistry. It follows that it's the team as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I really believe that our team members are very accepting of us saying, we don't know. We don't know what the answer is, but what they want from us as leaders within the profession, and I think that word leadership is a bit overused at the moment, but they are looking to us. And even if we don't know, they need to know that we are at least thinking about it.
Yeah, And there's nothing worse than thinking that someone knows something and they're not telling you as well. So I
Absolutely.
think that message, I don't know, and when I do know, let's have a discussion
Okay.
about it, and we can plan it as a team. I think that's hugely powerful.
Okay. Yeah. And given that we don't know what a return date is, and given that we both agree that the patient journey is key here, and it's really key with a cross infection, what would you like to see practices doing at the moment to make sure they get that patient journey right?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good question, is the at the moment. What can we do now? So we know things aren't going to be the same when we go back. We know there's going to be more PPE. We know there's probably going to be a gap between appointments. We know there's going to be fewer appointments. We can be managing patients' expectations now. We can be practicing with our PPE because some of it's going to be new. We can show that to patients.
Yeah.
When you come back to the practice, chances are we'll be dressed like this. The reason we're doing that is this. This is how we put it on and take it off. By the way, did you know this is how much it's going to cost for each set of it? Just seeding that a little bit for patients. And then how would it be if there's a little video for patients? This is the walkthrough of what your patient journey is going to look like. Do you know what? You're not going to wait in the waiting room. You're probably going to wait in your car, unless there's exceptional circumstances or you haven't got a car. This is what we're going to do about when you have to sign a form. This is what we're going to do about when you have to pay. These are all the things patients worry about. And the more we can do those little videos, you can do them on your phone really easily.
Absolutely.
The more powerful that message is, and you can get different people in your team doing it.
I know.
Skill sets.
And I think what's really important here is that we walk through.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing sitting at a table or sitting on a Zoom call with members of the team and trying to intellectually imagine walking through a patient journey. But when we're actually walking through, all sorts of other questions get asked. Like, what do we do about if somebody wants to put a handbag in and put it on the floor? Can they do that? Can they not do that? Do we need to provide them with bags? What do they do with them? What's the flow of the patients? Do we have clean pens, dirty pens? What do we do with papers that get signed? How do we decontaminate them? That process of scanning and destruction. Do we create effectively green zones and red zones like we have in our disinfection suites? But do we have to do that with admin?
Yeah.
And it's going to vary for practice.
I think that's absolutely right. And until you try it yourself, you don't know what will work for you. I love the idea of rehearsal. And I think in that, somebody has to play the patient.
Yeah.
And maybe different people as well, because different patients are going to raise different questions.
Absolutely.
So this patient's just asked to go to the loo. What are we going to do about that? This patient feels a bit sick and is going to have a lie down. What are we going to do about that?
Okay.
What do we do if we have to get the emergency kit?
Absolutely. And I was also thinking about if they have to wait outside. We've got beautiful sunshine today, but what happens if it's raining?
Yeah, because not all patients have cars. It's good for some that do, but not all do. So we've got to look at all those different scenarios. And I think it's helpful to look across at other businesses in other countries that have started as well, to see what they've done. Not necessarily to copy it, but just to get some ideas for that. And then you can check out, is there any evidence base to support this? There's going to be some evidence base for some things. Some things are going to be entirely new.
Yeah.
Like your idea of shredding papers. Does that create an aerosol? We simply don't know. What are you going to do with the shredded bits? We don't know. But someone will.
Yep, and we have to demonstrate that we've thought about it. But looking for others for good practice, I think, is really good. But it's important that we critique it. But I think it's also useful to look at what other people are doing and demonstrate bad practice. Because I'm sure I'm not alone as a dentist that my bristles start to rise and my blood pressure goes up when I go into the supermarkets and I see people with their gloves on and their masks on that aren't even put on correctly, believing that they're safe.
Yeah.
But we all know that having a pair of gloves doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
but it's the washing and the disinfecting in between. And I've got sort of like this fantasy that I think it would be fantastic again for people to be doing videos where they're putting hands in coloured pots of paint and then spreading that around, showing how potentially infections spread. So useful for people to understand. And then going back and just demonstrating, well, okay, different coloured pots of paint, but it's the washing in between times. Everything I touch, I have to re-disinfect my hands or re-wash my hands.
And I think the thing that we can say with that is we as teams are so good at that. And patients, I think, will appreciate us sharing those messages that they can then share with their friends and family. The other one that I'd like to see is people saying how important it is that you take your gloves or your mask off properly and dispose of them properly.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that's the other thing I see people coming out of the supermarket to take their gloves off and drop them on the floor. How's that helpful?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I absolutely agree with you. Videos of donning PPE, and it could be a range that it could be that our PPE is just this. Maybe it in our dreams it might be what we left at the end of February, to a range where we all look like spacemen in hazmat suits. We don't know where we're going to be. But if we can demonstrate to the patients that there is a range and the potential price tag and how we put it on. But equally, if they're choosing to wear masks, wouldn't it be useful for them to know whether or not they're putting them on properly themselves? Because if they're shielding somebody else, that would be useful.
And you know what? It is that it's sharing our expertise for the benefit of individuals and the community as well. So we are seeing as the professional, knowledgeable people who are looking out for others as well, not just when they're in our practice.
Absolutely.
We're looking out for them all the time.
Absolutely.
I like that idea.
Absolutely. I mean, I really believe that dentists are probably the best at cross-infection control than any area of the health service, putting my neck out there. But in practices, we don't talk about it, but we would never dream of letting our team members go out at lunchtime in their clinical uniforms. They come in, they've got their home stuff, they get changed into their clinical stuff. And some fantastic practices that I work with where they've got washing machines actually in the practice. So the uniforms never even leave the building.
Wow.
And yet we also know that hospitals, nurses, even now, they're going home in their clinical staff. We wouldn't tolerate that because we know that that's poor cross-infection control. So I think it's about time as dentists we started showing people our expertise.
Yeah, and generally speaking, I don't know about you, but when I was at dental school, we weren't really taught to show off about what we were good at. You know, we're taught to just get on with it. And I think as a profession, generally speaking, we don't show off what we're good at. And I think this is the time to be stepping up to the plate to do that. Because we're going to have to get patients on side. There's going to be patients that are uncertain about whether it's safe to come back to the dental practice.
Absolutely.
All these things we're talking about today, how reassuring are they going to be for an uncertain patient? Wow, not only are these guys doing it, they're happy to talk about it and show us. Wow.
Absolutely. And I think there also is an opportunity to be saying, look, this is what we were doing previously. Show people through your decontamination suite. Show them everything that we do to keep them safe, but also show them what we may be doing in the future. And again, with modern technology, if we've got those videos, if we can be, there's no reason why we can't be sending people a video attachment to their appointment confirmation to say, this is what it's likely to expect. So that they know, because for so many people, it's the fear of the unknown.
That's absolutely right. And the skill set and the practice, if you think about how many people there are with mobiles, some people are really good at doing videos and social media, some people aren't. Provided the practice has the message and the idea, lots of people can put the video out in different ways, with different narrative attached to it.
Absolutely. And I think there's going to be a big shakedown, and I think all this sort of stuff is going to differentiate one practice from another. So if you're a patient or even a team member and you're looking to change practices, this is the sort of stuff that is going to be really important to you. How much do they really care about my safety?
Yep, I think that's absolutely right. So we've got this huge opportunity now to do that. We've got the downtime that's still here. We've not got a start date, and it's not going to be in the next few days. This isn't going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of planning. But then once you know what you're doing, it's not going to take a lot of time to do it.
Absolutely. And with furlough, because that's obviously another big question, is people say, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to cost me if I bring them out of furlough? And we know that we can bring people out of furlough for a day before putting them back in.
Yeah.
So it could be that we bring them out and we just spend a day, bang, 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 bang. It may be a long day. And then put them back again.
And reap the benefits going forwards. It's like lots of things. It's the planning that, yes, it's going to cost a bit for the planning, but by Jove, it's worth it. If you've got a lot of supportive patients coming back afterwards who are happy, who are not scared, who are on your side and they're going to support the practice, that's got to be worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think we're in danger of going round and round this circle over and over again, Sue. But it seems to me that what we're talking about here is key things about planning, safety, really effective teamwork, and being able to demonstrate that we have done real risk assessments, that we're thinking dentists. So I don't know about you, Sue, but I love to hear what people have been implemented since our calls. So for those of you that are watching and listening to these videos, please do let us know. What are you taking away? What are you implementing? And what has been the positive impact of these short messages?
Yeah, brilliant.
Fantastic. So who knows what's going to happen next week, next Thursday when we chat together. Look forward to hearing what's going on. So, Sue, I wish you a wonderfully successful week. Enjoy the bank holiday.
Thank you, and the same to you, Jane.
And all those out of there, all those dentists and team members that are watching these, have a great week, and we will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.